Let me get one more prediction while we're at it. If we're going to talk UFC 202, McGregor and Diaz. First off, are you excited for that fight? I love the matchup, but some fighters don't because there's no title, there's no contendership. Do you like that as a fan? Are you excited for that?
As a fan, I like it just because of all the talking, the shit talking. It's just like McGregor got he definitely has the mouth, and Diaz, he's one of the guys you can't wait to see what you can't wait to hear what he's gonna say. But I'm definitely excited. What weight class is the fight gonna be at?
They're gonna fight at 170, which is interesting because Dana offered, when Conor lost, he offered him, because size mattered, he offered to redo the fight and do it at 155, and it was actually Conor that said, no, if I'm going to redo it, I don't want any favors. I want to redo the exact same scenario. So now he's got the same opponent, same amount of rounds, in the same city, for that matter, at the same weight class, 170.
And, that makes a big difference. People don't realize, I tell a lot of people, Conor fights at 45. Diaz fight at 55, but, getting down to 55, it pretty much hurt Diaz to make it down to 55. He fought at 70 before, so obviously he had to cut down to 70. I tell people, it's equivalent to, somebody at 170 fighting me at 205. They tell me I got to make 205. Okay, cool, I'll make 205. You can be faster than you. Obviously, you're going to be faster than me at 170, but, more than likely the shots that you're going to hit me with, they're going to look good, and you'll get tired of hitting me. And during the first fight, that's what happened. Conor looked great in the first round, and he just got tired of hitting Diaz, and Diaz got him with a 1-2, and it was beginning to the end after that. So, unless Conor comes in with a different game plan, I'm still excited about the fight. I think it's pretty much still going to be a good fight, but it's going to be pretty hard for Conor to finish Diaz. I can tell you that much.
And see, I see it that exact same way. And when you talk about the game plan that he's going to come in with, let's just take him at his word. Conor said, I was inefficient with my energy, which is a nice way of saying I got tired and I quit. I had no more energy left. So he's saying...
No, he was inefficient because the shots that he usually put people that are at 45 or 55 that put him down, they're not going to put a guy like Diaz down. That's because he was inefficient. He was just like, okay... Some of those shots he was throwing at Diaz, if he was fighting somebody at 45, he'd have put him to sleep.
For sure.
But Diaz is not a 45 where he's a really big 55-pounder. So you're not just going to – you literally have to hit him almost on point 3 or 4 times in order to put him to sleep, and you're probably not even going to KO him. You probably might get a TKO. Diaz is the type of guy you're not going to TKO Diaz.
So let's say it like this, though. Let's take your point and say that he was inefficient because he put too much in those shots. His opponent's still standing there. Now he's tired. The counter argument that I would offer is that's how Conor fights, though. He fights kind of like Vitor used to fight. He comes out, he swarms. Amanda Nunes does this. Swarms you fast. There's generally nobody standing when that hurricane's done. But that is the way they fight. If they come out and he changes his style, he doesn't throw those big shots. Now it's kind of a gamble. Now we're seeing Conor with his best tool left behind on purpose. His best tool is to jump on you and overwhelm you. If he doesn't do that, isn't that a very risky play in a fight this big to all of a sudden invoke a game plan that you've never done before?
It can be, but the thing about Conor, too, his stand-up game is very elusive. He's very quick. He's very fast. And you get guys like that who can stick and move. And, I mean, if the Conor can make it 5 rounds with his movement, I really think he can make it 5 rounds with his movement. I really think he's that elusive. So if he can do that, I think he's going to be he can actually pull off the fight. But he just got to keep on moving. And the thing about Diaz is they move too. They move too. So it's almost like a double-edged sword. Because if he gets caught pretty good by Diaz, he might drop him again.
Yeah, it's interesting. That is the other side of it. I appreciate you saying that because so many people do talk about the Conor side, that he was undersized and that he did win the first 7 minutes of a 8-minute contest, and he won it pretty handily. He looked good. The other side of that And if you're a Conor believer, that's what you hang on to. But the other side of that it's never talked about is that Diaz took that fight on 8 days' notice and had no training kit. He didn't have any sparring. And Diaz was the first to say, yeah, he hit me with a left hand over and over, but had I sparred, he wouldn't have gotten that. I could have beat him easier. I don't know. I don't know if he's right or wrong, but that's what he's saying.
It don't matter if Diaz would have been if it would have been a day out. Those guys are always in shape. Those guys always come to fight. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he had a full training camp or a day training camp. Those guys are always going to be ready, point blank. Those type of guys, like, you can call them on a day's notice and they'll be in better shape than probably 80% of the fighters.
You're right. That triathlete style, man. You're right. The endurance athlete, they stay ready. I'm speaking specifically, though, to the sharpness. You can lose your sharp where you get hit with shots, whether you're fatigued or not. And I don't know. That's what Nate says happened. He said, I wouldn't have got hit with that left hand if I would have had time to train. Well, I guess we'll see in a week.
Definitely.
All right, OSP, I appreciate your time, buddy. Unless there's anything you want to get off your chest, man, thanks for coming on.
Man, thank you for having me.
And good luck with Jimmy. I'm excited about that fight, October 8th, and that's going to be in England. You and Jimmy Manuwa. That's a fun one.
Definitely. I'll make sure to put on a good show.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thank you.
OSP.